this. There we go. All right. So yeah, the theme for the week is how to transform your desire into results. And we're going to take a little bit of a different approach this week. We're going to mix things up. And so what I want to start for anyone watching live, anyone watching the replay, please remember all of the replays will be available under the guide section, also over on YouTube, and we will be posting the link on YouTube as well as LinkedIn and through Instagram as well. So I'm so happy that you guys are joining us. This is such a pivotal time in the year to be really taking a look at your goals, where you want to see yourself between now and the end of the year. Okay, we have about 6 months, give or take, before the holidays roll around and everything kind of starts winding down for 2022 already. It's crazy, right? So what I want to do this week, we're going to be, like I said, this will be the last boot camp in my post. I said this will be the last boot camp for the summer. We're going to be mixing things up a little bit for July and taking a little more targeted approach so that we can help you more directly in kind of a one-on-one workshop-y environment, more of like a mastermind. So more to come on that, but it's really important. I want to encourage you guys as you're going through the training this week to really, lean in, open yourself up, and really think about, like, what do I want, right? What do I want to create? I promise you anything and everything is possible with the right mindset, with the right attitude, and with the right support. All right. But it does require you to apply what you're learning. All right. You have to, it's not just about sitting and listening to the lessons and maybe, doing the exercises here and there. You really have to lean in. You have to apply what is being taught with this material in order to create a quantum leap, in order to create a significant change in your results, like a transformation. I love that word, transformation. And so that was one of the, reasons, one of the, reasons that we chose that theme. Transformation and desire, I think, are two of my favorite words, because a goal, and we're going to get into goal setting in a little bit, but the first step in in creating, manifesting anything that you want in your life is to one, make a decision that you're going to create something within yourself first, and then it'll lead to your external results. But first within yourself, in order to know how to give definition to any sort of goal. All right. So I find a lot of times that people will, overthink the goal setting process a little bit, or think that, oh yes, I want to increase my income, or yes, I want to release X amount of weight, or get in, the best physical shape of my life, or attract the right love or relationship, business partnership into my life. Like they tend to oversimplify it. Okay. And really think of it more intellectually versus emotionally. So the first step is to truly just make a decision that you want to change, that you're going to change. You're going to create something outside of yourself, in your physical reality that you've never accomplished before. And it all starts inside. And that's where the desire lives. Okay. The desire lives in your heart center, which is your emotional mind, which is also your subconscious, right? And remember, our subconscious controls 96 to 98% of all of our results, our perceptions, and our behaviors. Okay. So I do just have a couple of slides, and we're not going to be too slide heavy this boot camp, but because I really want to, engage and interact with you guys and get your feedback. That'll all be leading to this VIP workshop that I mentioned in the post I did earlier today on Saturday. So here we're at, right? So we've got desire. We have our desire. There we go. Okay. So our theme for the week, right? Transform your desire into results. And where I want to start, if you guys have been following or studying with me at, for any length of time, how much I absolutely love Neville Goddard. And so it really all starts with this, idea that you want to transform, right? And so this is a chapter, this is just a first few sentences within the chapter on power of assumption from Power of Awareness, where he said that all transformation begins with an intense burning desire to be transformed, right? The first step in this is the renewing of your mind, right? The first step in the renewing of your mind is desire. So that's just it. Like, we have to renew our mind in order to create new results, right? We can't get the same, we're going to just keep getting the same result over and over again if we come at it from the same mindset. So it requires an entirely new way of thinking in order to tap into, that desire. Okay. So, and then he says, you must want to be different and intend to be before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. Okay, so that's straight from Power of Awareness, the chapter 3 on power of assumption. And so that is so important. It's so simple. I'm just going to read it again. So all transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. The first step in the renewing of the mind is desire. You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. So I wanted to really start with that because, and just tell you a little story, like when it comes to making a decision, again, it's kind of a concept that, we're never really taught how to make a decision. And again, I find that, like, when we start out on this, we make decisions intellectually and we do our goal setting intellectually without really going within. And so the best analogy, the best story that I can relate to this, and you probably have heard this before, but it really, for me, it started, I had already, been on this journey for a few years doing different trainings and certifications and whatnot. And I remember, sitting at the Paradigm Shift in LA. Again, my story is I had to volunteer in order to get there, to be able to afford the ticket. Like, my circumstances were pretty dire. And I, so I just remember sitting there. I think it was probably on, end of day 2, maybe early day 3. But I remember exactly what I was wearing. I remember sitting there and just this feeling burst inside of me. And I just knew, like, I made the decision right then and there that I was going to change. I was going to change my circumstances, my environment, my results, how I felt about myself, how I felt about, the world that I had created around me. And the only way I can describe it is sort of like that intense burning desire, but it started with that committed decision, right? An irrevocable decision that no matter what, I was going to figure it out. And I didn't know how, I didn't know what that looked like, but it was an internal energy. It was a fire that was lit within. And from then on, I made the decision to get mentored with PGI and invest in proper mentorship. And that's when everything really started to open up. What I had tried for 3.5 years to accomplish on my own, which was to leave my day job and go out and work on my health and wellness business full time, I was able to accomplish within 3 months of getting proper mentorship and direction. Okay. So, but I bring that up and I want to start with decision because we normally end with it, right? And we get through a training, we do the goal setting, we do certain aspects of, self-image and attitude. And it's all a part of the formula. All right. It's all a part of this winning formula to create the life by design that you desire. But it really starts first and foremost with making that decision, right? Making that decision that you're going to create a transformation. And so, that's where I wanted to start with this. And then the other thing I wanted to read, and we're going to do a little exercise, is from Thomas Troward's Power of Awareness. So this is really important, okay? So I want you to really listen. Like, when you're going throughout the week and you're listening to the recordings, going back to the replays, because we're going to keep these short and sweet this week so that you have the time you can carve out, go take a walk, put your headphones on, listen to the replays, because it is the repetition of these ideas that is going to make the biggest difference for you. But what I really want you to do is something called entering into the spirit of it. So every day when you watch the replay, you go back or you're tuning in live, I want you to really go within yourself first. Just take like a maybe a minute or two and close your eyes and go within and really open yourself up. Let spirit guide you. Let the universe guide you to what you're meant to experience and feel and learn through this training. Okay, you are here for a reason, right? We are all here for a reason, and it is not a mistake that you're listening to this or you're tuning in, you're doing the exercises. Like, don't take that for granted. Okay, we've attracted each other for a reason, and it's really important to honor that and to open yourself up to the possibilities. Okay, so what I want to encourage you to do, and I'm going to start with this every morning, is again from Thomas Troward. I'm just going to read the first couple of sentences, but it's all about this concept around entering into the spirit of it. All right, so think of it as like entering into the spirit of your goal, entering into the spirit of where you want to be 6 months from now, the end of this year, and live from that place. Okay, so he says entering into the spirit of it. What a common expression, and yet how much it really means. How absolutely everything. We enter into the spirit of an undertaking, into the spirit of a movement, into the spirit of an author, even into the spirit of a game. And it makes all the difference, both to us and to that into which we enter. A game without any spirit is a poor affair. An association in which there is no spirit falls to pieces. And a spiritless undertaking is sure to be a failure. On the other hand, the book which is meaningless to the unsympathizing reader is full of life and suggestion to the one who enters into the spirit of the writer. The man who enters into the spirit of the music finds a spring of refreshment in some fine recital, which is entirely missed by the cold critic who comes only to judge according to the standard of a rigid rule. And so on in every case that we can think of. If we do not enter into the spirit of a thing, it has no invigorating effect upon us, and we regard it as dull and insipid and worthless. This is our everyday experience, and these are the words in which we express it. And the words are well chosen. They show our intuitive recognition of the spirit as the fundamental reality in everything, however small or great. Let us be right as to the spirit of a thing, and everything else will successfully follow. Okay, so just think about that, right? Like, close your eyes, go within. You know what it feels like when you're in the spirit of something, right? When you're in the energy of something. I love, that he even equates it to a game, right? My head goes to sports. I love sports, and I love the experience of, being in a game, whether you're watching it on TV or you're, live in person, like there is an energy there, right? And same for, if you're a performer or like music, so really go within and enter into the spirit of what it is you're here to learn and what it is you want to create. Okay, and that leads us to the goal setting. So I'm going to hop back over to my slides. So really quick first though, so anytime I have been stuck, when I was working directly with Bob and Arash, at PGI, anytime I found myself stuck, they always said like, well, it's because you don't have a goal. Okay, and so now this is where I really want you to think. Like, a goal is great. A goal is important because it's a benchmark, right? It's a way for us to measure our progress, our understanding, our awareness, our growth, where it is that we're declaring to the universe we want to go. And so it's helpful to have that. But I find that a lot of times people are not truly fused and committed to their goal. They have not made that committed decision. It really actually is more of a hope or a wish. Okay. And so this is again where I really want you to think, because they would say to me like, well, you don't really have a goal. If you're not sufficiently motivated by your goal to keep going every day, if it doesn't like get you excited to get up and out of bed in the morning, right? If it doesn't motivate you to work through any fear, work through any sort of adversity or mountain, as Neville calls them, then you don't have the right goal. All right. And so, um, you know, what I want to do is this little exercise real quick, and then we'll get into the slides. But I want you guys, so I learned this from another coach, and I love it. It's so simple, but I have like a box of rocks right here. And they all have different words on them. So we've got gratitude, laugh, hope, wealth, bless, just different words. Okay. So I want you to just play along with me and just be a couple seconds. I want you to close your eyes. Okay. And think of your goal. Think of what that desire is that you want to create. Okay. And I'm going to close my eyes and pick out our word for the day. Okay. And the word is trust. That is a great one. I love that. Okay. So trust. So keep your eyes closed. I want you to ask yourself this question. Okay. Where would you like to have more trust in your life? Okay. Where would you like to have more trust in your life? Number 2, how do you already experience trust in your life? Okay, where in your life is that already present for you? And that's important because like when you can pull on that and you can pull from that feeling, you can tap into that feeling, you're going to be able, you're putting yourself on that frequency, right? And you can attract more of it. So number 3, how does trust affect you? How does trust affect you? There's 2 more. Number 4, what can I do now to live a life of trust? What can I do now to live a life of trust? And then number 5, you can open your eyes if you haven't already, and I want you to come up with your own affirmation for the day. I am trust. I am trustworthy. I am trustful. I am full of trust. Like whatever comes to you, whatever inspires you with the word trust. And I will, I'll share, like, I mean, trust has been a big, big, which is why this is funny that of course I picked it. It's been a big thing for me that I've had to work on, and I still work on. And it's trusting others for sure. Ultimately though, it comes down to trusting myself, right? So ask yourself, like, do I trust myself? Do I trust myself with my goal? Do I trust myself that I will do everything in my power to accomplish my goal? Am I prepared to go within? Am I prepared to do whatever it takes to accomplish and go after and achieve ultimately, these new desired results? So I love that exercise. I'm going to keep trust near my computer today. And so yeah, going back to the goal then, right? Like you must really come from a place of understanding, Once you gain the understanding that when you have a goal because you feel it, right? It puts you on that frequency, like how to put yourself on that frequency like that. All right. And so really think, and the exercise for today is going to, cause you to go deeper with the goal. And you may have the right goal right now. You may not though. And this is a really important time to reflect on that. All right. So, because like the income, it might be a goal, it might not, right? The health goal, it might be something you really want, it might not, right? The business goal, is it really what you want? It always goes back to this very, very simple question: what do I want? All right. And then from there, I encourage you to go to the why. You know, for some people, the why is really important. For me, it is. But for other people, it might not be. But it's a good exercise to do. Like, ask yourself, okay, why do I want this? Right? This is my goal. This is why I want it. And the why will help fuel you as well. And there's a lot of great exercises to, if you don't know your why, that's fine. The why will find you, right? Like the purpose finds you. Your purpose will find you when you're doing the work. But there are a ton of great exercises around like the 7 layers of why, different things that you can do to really get to your why. But you wanna, like, you'll know when it's the right goal because you will be obsessed with it, right? It's like a healthy obsession where you think about it all day long. Like I said earlier, right? It inspires you to get out of bed in the morning. It inspires you to, it creates this energy within you that no matter what, you're going after your goal. You're not going to let anything, any adversity, anything hold you back. And you know, the third thing then is, so you know, what is the goal? Is it a healthy obsession? What is the why? And then the third thing is, you know, you need to find your own goal achieving process. We all have different goal achieving processes. What works for me may not work for you. And so that's what, you know, that's why we do these trainings. That's why any sort of coaching or mentorship is all about empowering you, giving you the tools so you can figure this out, right? Like if I could do the work for other people, I would. I really would, because I believe in it so much. But that's not what this is about. It's about bringing more of who you are to the surface, like truly, fully, deeply expressing yourself so that you can create the life that you want, because that is what is going to set you apart. Like that's where success comes from, is it comes from within. Okay. So, you know, you ask yourself, like, what is my goal achieving process? And then know like what your triggers are. You know, I work with a lot of people where they're going after their goal, going after the goal, and then all of a sudden life comes in, and it could be like a very simple situation, but it sets them off course. And so, you know, it could be a comment on social media. It could be something your family says to you. It could be, you know, a contract didn't come through from a client you thought it would. I mean, it could really be anything. But are you going to let that veer you off course? All right. Are you fused with the goal, or are you separate from the goal? And so, you know, understand what those triggers could be for you. And then, you know, you going after it every day, like, again, you're not separate from the goal. And like I started in the very beginning, you know, this is not an intellectual exercise, right? This is not an intellectual exercise. It is an emotional one. So if you're overthinking it and you're all up in your head, that's not going to serve you, right? From a manifestation standpoint, becoming emotional, you're not going to be able to get emotionally involved in, you know, the life that you're saying that you want to create. Okay. So and you know, here's the thing is, like, really look at your behaviors. Like, look at your behaviors. So you set the goal, you have the why, you come up with your winning goal achieving formula. And again, I can help you with all of this. We're going to get deeper into this into the VIP day on Saturday. But you know, that's where you really want to go with this. Okay. I'm going to share my screen one more time. And we're going to go over here. There we go. Okay. So just to wrap up for today, you know, and this is where we go intellectually, where you know, there are the 3 different levels of goals, right? There's the A type goal, the B type goal, and the C type goal. And I'm not going to give any attention really to the A's and the B's, right? Because the A type goals, you already know how to do those. The B type goals are what you think you can do. And the C type goals, that's where I spend time, right? That's where I want to spend time with you and with my clients, because that is where you're really pulling from within and you're tapping into that burning desire and using your imagination to truly go after what it is that you want. Okay, so that's the goal. That's where we're going. So I really want you guys, as we get into the exercise for today, I want you to really go into this C type goal. And if you have any questions, let me know. We'll be reaching out to see if we can offer any help with this. But it's really those C type goals, the high level goals that you have no idea how in the world you're going to do them. You don't know how you're going to accomplish them, but they get you to really stretch and grow, right? They get you to really challenge yourself. So again, going back, like what do you really want? And this requires brutal honesty with yourself. Don't think about what other people want for you. Don't think don't go after what you think you can achieve. Don't even go after, what feels like a wish. That you really want to go after something that tugs at those heartstrings. Okay. And, this is, if you need any help with this, this is the circle of life, because the other thing that I hear is that sometimes people don't really know what they want. And so the primary foods, right? This is the circle of life. This makes up every area of our life. And so what I encourage you to do is go through this exercise. It is in your workbook, so I'm not going to talk through it right now. But if you're looking for a little help to go deeper on what area you want to focus on first, this is a great exercise to do that, right? To do just that. So the concept is that, it's based off of bio-individuality, where I was taught this in nutrition school, that we're all different, right? So some of you might want to work on relationships, others might want to work on your creativity and expressing yourself, others finances or career, education. So, make this circle of life relevant to you, right? If I think it says home cooking down here, if that's not something that's important to you, just cross it out and pick a different area, or just skip it all together. But this is a great exercise to really go in. And the idea is that when these primary foods, are well-rounded, more balanced and more well-rounded in our life, then the secondary foods that we consume, we don't need as much of, right? Like we're not reliant on something from the outside to fill us and make us whole on the inside. Right. And it's not just food that we consume. It's like if you take relationships, for example, right? If you're balanced in your relationships, then you're not looking for the next relationship to complete you. Right. And it could be friendships, it could be love, it could be business, it could be really anything. The same for, finances or career. Like you're not looking for that next promotion to complete you. I've been there, and it is a vicious cycle of, hoping, and then you get it and it's like, wait, that didn't really do for me what I thought it was going to do. And so, you don't want to be doing this, right, throughout your life. Like, oh, I'm on a high, and then that didn't really work out, and then you're on a low. You want to maintain, and maintain balance, energetically, first and foremost, before you can attract it without. So that is what I had for you guys today. The assignment that we will also drop in the comments, in the group, is I want you to really go within. I want you to listen to this abundance meditation that I still fall asleep to, a couple times a week at night. So sit in a quiet place, listen to this meditation. Then it's about 19 minutes, I think, 20 minutes. Then take a sheet of paper, okay? And even if you have a goal, even if you have been doing this for a little while, some of you I'm working with on money manifestation exercises. Like, even if you have the goal, I want you to do this exercise anyway. So I want you to take a sheet of paper. On one side of the paper, make a list of all your wants, okay, and things that you love. And don't even overthink it, just free flow off the top of your head, right? And then on the other side of the paper, I want you to make a list of everything that you're good at, right? So you'll have two sides, all your wants, everything that you love, and then on the other side, everything that you're good at. Then when you're done, all I want you to do is just take it and start to kind of look, right? Where are there similarities, right? Do you notice any similarities between the two lists? And that often will help people determine what their goal is, where they want to go, what they want to go after. And so, message me if you need any help with this. This is a different exercise than what we've done before, but it's very, very powerful when you stop to do it, right? And this work is easy to do, and it's also easy not to do. But I promise you, nothing happens until you take action, right? We're not yet at the point where you can sit and manifest anything. Like, you have to take action in order to do that. Okay, so we will reach out with any questions, for any questions to be able to help you, and let us know if you need anything. Otherwise, have a great rest of your week, and we will see you back here tomorrow. More to come. Bye-bye.